bring you on a minute. And we're back. What's up, everybody? It's me, 70R Bridges, and this is from Mirror to Manuscript, and we are back with another guest. Now we are kicking off our memoirs. So we had some children's books and some children's book authors come on, but now we're about to bring on the meat and the potatoes, y'all. So first, our introductory song, Word Up, Hey, Word Up, Hey, Word Up, Hey. For real though. So for real though, we are about to bring on an artist, a rapper, a comedian, Darius Sullivan, and his book is The Wheel World. If you're watching this now, thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you watch this later, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And then also the QR code in the corner is to purchase the Wheel World. So definitely utilize that. And without further ado, we are going to bring on tonight's guest, Darius Sullivan. Woohoo! What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, how are you? How you doing? How you doing? Hey, Stephanie, how you doing? How y'all
Hi.
doing? Attending and listening. My name
Yes.
is Dar- My name is Darius Sullivan, like she mentioned. Yes, and I am I'm a disabled person, in a wheelchair. I've been in my wheelchair since I was 15, and which is why the book is titled The Wheel World. And I just wanted to, elaborate on that. I've been in my chair since I was 15, from Akron, Ohio. LeBron James. That's my buddy. He younger than me, but that's my buddy. And from the city of Hard Knocks, and I'm a comedian, which is something I got into later. But I started off being a rapper, and I just started off being a clown. Just running around, just mischievous, in everything. And then I wasn't when I say I got in a wheelchair at 15, I was a gunshot wound victim, but it wasn't. When I say that, people automatically form opinions. So I kind of say different things, like car accidents and stuff like that, because I wasn't in the gang. I wasn't doing nothing wrong. It was just some stupid stuff that happened. So, I don't like the people to form opinions like, oh, he might be, whatever. You know how that be. But yeah, I'm not none of that. I'm just a regular little I was just a regular little kid running around, and it happened. 15 years old, ninth grade, but I bounced back and I kept it going, and well, I say I kept it pushing.
Yes.
I was,
I'm okay, push.
yeah, so
Yes,
I kept.
definitely. So you do you share some of that in your book, exactly, um what happened, and I don't want to talk too much about it because I want people to get the book and read it. But I do want to share that what he's saying is very true. Like you can live a certain type of life or not live a certain type of life and just be in the wrong place at the wrong time or in the wrong circumstances. And I think oftentimes, since we're always watching like crime shows and stuff, it feels like to me like everybody gets caught, you know what I mean? Or everybody uh you do the crime, you do the time. But sometimes, people do stuff, they lie, they get away with stuff. And I think that is an important part of your story too. Like, like you said, so people aren't always just side-eyeing you or looking at you a certain type of way. So
Yeah, because when you tell somebody you got shot in the back, it's almost like, huh, oh my God, he's a gangster. He's, it's always going straight to that. And it's like, no, I was just walking up, doing my thing, and it just happened. But yeah, so that's how it
yeah,
is.
yeah, you was just being a kid. You was being a kid.
Always
So
be a kid.
So tell us, 15 years old, that happens. Tell us how you were able just to, keep pushing, like you said, and do and accomplish all the amazing things that you've done in your life.
Well, I dedicated my book to my friends because if it weren't for them, you know, none of like I don't even know where I would be. You know what I'm saying? I'd still be in a wheelchair. See, I'm silly. I don't know where I'd be. You'd be in a chair. But no, but no, see, my friends, like, if you got good friends and you've been with your friends forever, man, call your friends, give them a hug, tell them you love them, all that good stuff. Because I'm still friends with my friends. To this day, we still talk, we still get together, we still, and I always, tell everybody, like, if it weren't for my friends, I don't know how hard it would have been, because I understand how it could have been. I understand how they could have left me out. I'm in
Hmm.
a wheelchair. I'm a problem. I'm baggage. And we all young. I'm
Right.
older than, I'm the
Hmm.
oldest of my friends. So when I say I got
Hmm.
shot when I was 15, they were 14 and, 13 and 12 and stuff. So,
Hmm.
it, they still was like, nah, you coming. And I'm like, where we going? We going on some female house, and she got some friends, and you coming. And I'm like, man, I ain't ready. But I'm like, damn, I do want to see some females though. But I'm like, so he's like, come on, up the steps, down the steps, over the fence, whatever, you coming. And
Right.
this is like, I'm talking about like, I got shot in November. So we talk about the very next summer, like, what I'm saying? As soon as I'm out of rehab, it's like, come on, let's go face the world. Like, wait, hold up. Like, I'm not ready for that. Cause as a when we 15, 14, freshmen in high school, we already got complexes about how we look, what we wearing. Just being a young teenager, you complex, you might have pimples, and it's like, oh my God. And
Right.
then the dude in a wheelchair, it's like, oh my God, leave me alone. Stop, like, stop picking on me. Like, damn. So
Right.
it was,
But they was picking on you in a good way. Like,
I say stop picking on me. I mean, God, stop picking on me. Like, Jesus, like,
oh, okay. Right. Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
already in a bad neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? My fingernails was black growing up. So I always got joked on about my fingernails. Then I get shot and my hands get messed up. Now I got messed up hands and black fingernails. So my boys ain't like, they don't care. They on me. They like, hey, they talk about my hands, my skinny legs. But I love that because that made me feel it just made me feel equal to them.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about me, laugh and talk about me. Don't just
Right.
pity baby me. You know what I'm saying? My
Right.
boys were hard on me. They were hard on me, like really hard on me. Like when a lot of time you have some coochie, like oh my god, I'm in a wheelchair, bro. Like I shouldn't even be having to go through that. Nah,
Right.
nah, nigga, nah, nigga, nah. When you last time you had, so it's like okay,
Right.
cause y'all,
So, look, when you said that, you made now I don't even know what I was about to say. You wild for that. I'm like, what?
hey, look, they made me feel equal. Just put it like that. They made me feel
Right.
equal.
Okay, so that's what I was going to say. So with your book and working with you and everything, I mean, I'm going to be 100% honest. You know how, as human beings we say, "Oh, we don't treat people different, or everybody's important, or blah blah blah." And then even before I get to that, even the fact, like, I can think back when I was at age 13, 14, 15, and we had a little click and everything, but I don't know, we would have been down if one of our homies would have something would have happened and she would have been in a wheelchair. I just don't know how that would have worked out. Like, you know how you just eventually stray away and stuff. I mean, I
And
feel
that,
like that may have happened.
and I remember, vaguely, I remember a couple incidents where they were going somewhere, and at the time I wasn't really at all ready to go, but
Mhm.
I just was thinking like, man, I wish I could go. But then, my time came, and it was like, all right, come on, but it's I can understand, like what if we in a car and we ain't got room for, the wheelchair. We just
Mhm.
put you in, but we ain't got room for no whole wheelchair. That's like your wheelchair take up space like a whole person.
Right,
And you got
right.
and you gotta bring it.
Yeah. No,
Well,
definitely,
at least
definitely.
that's what it was. At first it was you gotta bring it.
Yeah, I know in the book there's some times that you don't bring it, that your wheelchair is out there.
After I got cool and was with it, I was like, man, fuck that chair, dog. Just carry me. I'd have been carried, sat on all kind of stuff, man. Here, sit me on that, sit him on that, lean him up against here, sit him over here, like a doll, like a purse.
Just lean him over there. He'll be all right.
Hang him over there for a minute. Like we hey, long as I went, it was cool, man.
I know that's right. So that's the other thing that I was going to say too, is working with you, and being able to talk to you and read your book and hear about your stories. It gave me a new perspective on disabled people. And I know there's a lot of differently able people. Sometimes you can't tell. Sometimes you can tell, but it gave me a whole different perspective, because you even say that in your book, or you talk about that all the time. Like, you don't want people looking at you being like, "Oh, woe is me," or feeling bad for you, or thinking you can't do this or can't do that. Like, you a whole ninja out here doing your thing. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Yes.
y'all need to spend time feeling sorry for yourselves, and getting that, you know
Look, I got to the point where I realized, I'm disabled in a wheelchair. Like, but a lot of the people that I hang around are disabled mentally, and they
Yes.
all they all walking. I'm actually from 15 to my age now. I'm 50. I just, you know what I'm saying. I'm from
Mhm.
15 to I'm the therapist. I solve their problems because
Mm.
my is cool. I'm good, but I solve all their problems. They call
Right.
me man, this, and I solve their problems. I went to school. Well, I was gonna go to school
Mhm.
to be a psychological therapist. I wanted to go to Columbus State. I moved out of Akron because it was just I just got tired and fed up of just all the, everything. Plus, I was known in Akron as a music. I was known in Akron as rap.
Mhm.
Akron that still do in Akron is rap. Akron is rap and drugs and you know that's the bad side of it. It's other good things, that Akron has to represent. You know, I just really don't know what they are, but I can tell you the bad things. But
You wow.
you know, like I moved to Columbus, you know, leaving all that behind. You know, I'm like, I'm gonna just, do something different. I'm known for rap. It's like I'm tired of people seeing me. Ah, you still rap. You still mess with the music.
Hmm.
And that's like, that became seeing people after years of being in the music and it's not doing what it was supposed to do. And then you see somebody, they like, damn, what's up? You still mess with the music? And you know it's over with. And it's like, man, I gotta find something else to do. You know. So I
Right.
left Akron, Columbus, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be D Nut. I'm going to Columbus to be Darius Sullivan. I'm leaving D Nut behind, and I went to Columbus and I enrolled in Columbus State, and I was almost done with enrollment and taking the tests and all the stuff that you need to do to to enroll. And
Hmm.
I was at the barbershop. My cousin has a barbershop, and I was at the barbershop with him, and I was just talking barbershop talk. And the guy was getting his hair cut. And the guys kept laughing, at what we were saying. And he just asked me, was I a comedian? I'm like,
Hmm.
nah, I ain't never thought about that. No. He's like, man, you should be, you funny. I'm from Atlanta and yada, yada, yada. I know a lot of comedians. You funny. I'm thinking like, man, ain't none of my friends ever thought about comedy, but, and all my friends are silly. You
Right.
know,
Hmm.
social silly is one thing. That's sort of like improv, social silly. You talking and so you might say something funny, but it's a conversation. So we adding, but it's not stand up comedy.
Right. It's different.
Huge difference. So the guy was like adamant about me being a comedian. He left, and like 15 minutes later, he came back to the shop and said, "Man, I'm glad you're in here still. I just want to talk to you, man. Like, there's a little bar down, a couple doors down. Like, come have a drink with me. Let me holler at you about this." So I'm like, man, this,
Wow.
I goes, we talking, and he's like, "Man, I don't got the money to put behind you. I wish I did." He's like, "But if I had the money, I would put." And I'm thinking, like, really, comedy? And he's like, "You should do this. Try it." So I'm like, "Well, I'm in Columbus. It might." So I asked my cousin, like, man, what they got? So he's like, we found the open mic comedy spot.
Hmm.
He's like, let's go. I'm like, I'm gonna try this comedy thing out. So I went and it was open mic and I did 10 minutes. And when I got done, the hosts were all like, man, how long you been doing comedy, man? You funny as hell, you funny. I'm like, tonight, like, man, you lying. Like, you've been doing this shit longer than tonight. I'm like, no, this is my first time doing jokes. I don't tell jokes. I rap. And I'm
Right.
thinking, like, y'all like that? And I was like, it was a good vibe. They laughing and so, and I'm used to being on stage from the music, entertaining, so it was right up my alley.
Right.
And that night, I just kept going back, and I climbed the comedy ladder in Columbus pretty fast. Like it was pretty fast to the point where I went from open mic to doing the Palace Theater. I went from open mic. Well, I skipped the Funny Bone. I went from open mic to the Funny
Hmm.
Bone. The Funny
Hmm.
Bone, this is a real big popular place. Eastern
Yes.
Ball, Funny.
Hmm.
See, when you go to the Funny Bone, all you gotta do is just say, "I'm at the Funny Bone."
Right.
And it's like
Boom.
I'm there. Like my doctors came to my show at the Funny Bone. Like it's very
Wow.
easy. It's hard to promote a club or bar that your boy got. On the east side, it's like that's hard. But
Right.
the funny, like I pull up, I bring my aunt, my mom, we're all coming because they
Mhm.
know where it is, safe. You know what I'm saying? So Funny Bone is good, but then I went from the Funny Bone to the Palace Theater.
Wow.
That's balcony seats and like that's big boy stuff right there.
You
And
know,
Tom Joyner Morning Show crew, Tom Joyner Morning Show comedy crew, Huggy Lowdown and Dominique and a couple other people. I forgot their names, but they did a tour and they came through Columbus, and I knew some people who knew some people involved in the show, and they managed to get me on. So I ended up last minute. I ended up
mhm.
opening up the whole show. I
Wow.
did 2 minutes, and then I brought the host on. Damon Williams is another real funny comedian out of Chicago, Damon
Mhm.
Williams, and I brought him on. So after I did my 10, brought him on, he's the real host. So he started the show. So, he's starting the show, he's doing his thing. I'm backstage watching him, and he's like, dang, like tripping, man. Like, dude in a wheelchair just got done doing stand-up. Like, this shit crazy. Comedy though, So I'm laughing, the crowd laughing. I'm like, he's funny though, but he was funny though. Like, damn, that's
Right.
so. And he's like, he's on with the show, but then he referred back to me. Like, he asked the DJ because I came on to a song, "Picture Me Rolling," and
Mhm.
he's, "You play that, man, or did he ask you to play that?" And he said he asked me. So the guy's like, well, he could have came on to a lot of stuff that got to do with rolling. He's like, rolling, rolling, So he's saying, but to make a long story short, I started doing comedy, and I
Yeah.
climbed the pole fast,
Mhm.
and to the point where it was boring. It got boring fast.
Mhm.
Then I met my other sister, Nicole. I met
Yes.
her, and
Nicole,
she does,
Lady Extreme
yeah,
Carter.
Lady Extreme. Shout out to Lady Extreme. And I met her, and she does gospel comedy. And honestly, she's the first person that put some money in my pocket doing
Wow.
comedy. When I met her and I started doing gospel comedy with her, she said, "Listen, baby, I'm gonna pay you because I got to put some money in your pocket. This is yada yada yada." She did it. I'm like, "Oh my God, I love you. Pay me, baby. This is look
Okay.
now."
All right. So okay. So we're going to talk more about Nicole, but let's just kind of say this. So you were rapping in Akron, in LA. You had record deals, and then you came back, you moved to Columbus, and you, like you said, you rose in the comedy and everything like that. And I know, like, it's like you are a natural entertainer, and so now you're in the entertainment mecca, Atlanta,
Yeah,
Georgia. You know what I
yes.
mean? Where everything is popping and going down. So tell me, like, what it's like transitioning there. And then also kind of tie in, like, with all the things you've done, why it is that you wanted to become an author as well.
Okay, well, you know, before I even moved to Georgia, I had already enough for a book. And I would go through the like just looking at my life in a wheelchair and all the things I've done, and I just wanted to tell my story. I wanted to share my story, not on a sad note or nothing like that, but and then one time, like I would notice in like I had a case manager come see me one time, and I was talking to her and I was telling her what happened to me. I'm a naturally energy funny, silly, good vibe person. So she's laughing. I'm talking. She's laughing. Then I tell her about me getting shot, and it's like, like, oh my God, you got shot in the 15, and she's
Mhm.
like, oh my God, she teared up. And I'm used to it. It's my life. I'm used to it. So it's nothing to me to say I got shot. In the back now. I'm grown now. I've told this story a million times, and it's nothing to say that. So she's like. I'm like, oh, you don't gotta cry. Like she's just like, oh my God, like you just like, you just like from the good vibe that I get from you to get you shot. It's like you need to share this. And I'm thinking like, man, I do need to share this story because like
Right.
it's emotional to people. It's nothing to me, but to y'all, it's like, wow, it's interesting. So I was like, I need to write a book, man, but how? Like the thought came in my head years ago, but
Right.
the how is what stopped me. It never got me to do it. Was the how? How do you write a book? Man, I don't know how to write no book. All right, so it's like when me, I'm the type of person when it's something foreign, I get kind of scared and just jump ship. I don't know nothing about books. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm cool. So
Mhm.
years went by. Years went by. But if you look at it, I think that was just God's way of saying, hold on, you just got to get more stuff for the book. Don't write it. You
Mhm.
got to get more stuff. Like you got to go through more stuff. And that's what happened. I went through more stuff, and I you know, finally got to the point where I was like, let me honestly, this is what happened. It was New Year's
Mhm.
Eve, and I made my New Year's resolution was to write a book. And because I bought this sign, I'm gonna tell you the honest to God truth. I bought this sign at the store one day, just a sign to hang on your door. And the
Mhm.
sign is, after all is said and done, more is said than done. Motivation, right? I didn't know
Right,
how motivated.
that part.
I didn't know how motivated it would be. I hung it on my front door. Every time I come in and out my door, that sign mocked me. You ain't do shit today. You ain't do shit today. You ain't gonna do nothing. You bullshit. You bullshit. I'm like, oh my God, like you worse than a person.
Worse
So
than having your boys right there talking ish to you. You like, dang.
man, that sign was worse than the person. That sign was just constantly, nonstop. Just you ain't doing shit. You ain't doing shit. Slap in the face. So I'm like, I gotta do something. So I tell my brother, man, I'm gonna write this book. I'm gonna write this book, my New Year's resolution, and write the book. That's New Year's Eve. So
Mhm.
January goes by, February goes by. I'm talking to my brother. He's like, "What's up with the book?" I'm like, "Ah, yeah, I'm a, my brothers
Start
like you got
stuttering.
very good to have a person like my brother on your team because he's not a yes man.
Mhm.
He's gonna call you on your stuff. So there you go, bullshit. There you go, I'm like, you're right. You're right. Let me get on it. So I got in touch with Lady Extreme, and she was like, she's the first person that I knew that knew anything about books. She's like, I can help you, but I don't have all the time, and but I'll make some time to help you. Then a couple weeks went by, and I got back in touch with her, like, what's going on? You want to try this? She's like, you know what? I have a better option for you. I have a friend, and she has a whole cohort. She's a publisher. You can get in touch with her. She'll get you all the way through it. I deal with her myself. I'm like, okay, okay. What's the name? Who is this lady? Let me contact her. And she's like, her name is Stephanie Bridges. I'm like, okay, well, let me get her number. I called Stephanie. We spoke. She explained how her cohort works, and she explained how much it would cost to do this. And the best thing she said to me was, "It's a payment plan. You can pay me in increments and this and that." I said, "Oh, okay. So it's not a drop it down. Oh, okay. Well, man, now we talking." So, I was like, man, but then I was like, wow, that's gonna cost a little bit of money. And so after I made my first payment, I
Mhm.
said, oh, it's on because I don't got no money to be giving away. So
Right.
once I
I'm gonna
made
get
the
my
payment,
book.
hey, when I made that first payment, I was the author. I was the author.
Right.
After I made the payment, I was the author. Like whatever authors do, I'm an author now, goddamn it, because I'm gonna write this book. And I
No,
saw it through
I
the
love that. I love that.
saw it through the end, and it was the best thing I ever done, best money I ever spent. And like I say, I tell my friend, when you ready to write a book, I got the route we can go. I already know how you gonna get it done. Listen, I got you. So yeah. So then that answers your question about what made me want to write the book. So then
Mhm.
now I got the book now. Fast
Mm.
forward to now I'm in Georgia.
Yes.
So now I realized why I didn't move yet, because a couple years ago I had wanted to move. I just wanted to move. I just felt like
Mhm.
I don't do comedy no more. I'm not, I need to get somewhere where I can get back in the market, go somewhere and just start doing comedy again. Just get my whole new
Right.
rebirth. So I was like, but then I came to my senses, like, you know what, just stick around Columbus, you got a nice house and yada yada yada. But
Mhm.
I didn't realize that God was just saying, wait, write this book first. So once I got the book written last year, the option to move again came. And I said, oh, I gotta go to Atlanta now because I got a book. I'm doing comedy, and Atlanta is the Black Hollywood for all that.
Yes. Yes.
And I came down to visit, and this just put the stamp on it why I should have been here. I came to visit last summer.
Mm-hmm.
I got on Monday. Tuesday, I didn't do nothing. Wednesday, me and my cousin got together and we went out and we went to this little spot. It wasn't really a bar or nothing. We just was hanging out with one of his friends. And I met
Mm-hmm.
this female named Destiny. And she just
Mm-hmm.
made a joke, don't run my foot over. And I'm like, all right. She's like, I'm just being funny. I'm a comedian. And I'm like, me too. And she's like,
Wow.
are you? And she said, you want to be in the show tomorrow? I said, hell yeah. She's like, all right, send me a picture right quick. I'm gonna make you a flyer. I'm like, what? So I sent her a picture, and man, by the time I got home or back to my room, she had sent me a flyer with me on it saying performing tomorrow, yada yada. And I'm like, ooh, what the hell? See, this is why I need
Yes.
to be in Atlanta. I got
Mm-hmm.
here on a Monday. I'm performing Thursday.
Right.
So I posted the flyer, and my friends called me like, damn, man, what you performing already? I said, yeah, man. They like, man, you be
They
so I
on it.
and I got my book, you know what I'm saying? So I get on stage, I do my show, I got my book. And so now that I've been here for almost a year, I've been doing open mic every week. And then I got in touch with another friend of mine who's from Akron, and she's
Mm-hmm.
those shows once a month. So she does her show once a month. And so I do that show, then I do the every week show, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still just transitioning. That's just me. That's light work. That's just me because I
Right.
just got here. I ain't
Mm.
really busy, but that's light work, and I just got here. So
No,
I'm
no, that's cool. And I do want to say this about you too, because it's a testament to all the things you've done and accomplished. You did at first, we had started the cohort, before you got in, and I was like, oh, he ain't getting in. And I was even telling Nicole, I was like, you don't have to, stress him or nothing. He gonna do it or he ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like I really did not believe that you was gonna get in. And when I say not only did you get in, but you were so consistent with showing up, with making your payments. Like we got to the end, and I was like, there.
listen, I didn't miss nothing. I was excited
Nothing.
every week for everything. Like, listen, let me tell you, this funny thing is our first couple Zoom meetings, I was like, listen, don't smoke nothing because you gotta understand what they talking about. I was so focused on listening so I could understand what I'm getting myself involved in because I'm paying for this. So I was like, be sober. So yes, I straightened up and did everything I could and everything I was supposed to do to make that
Yes,
happen.
and also like we started out doing Zoom, and you telling me your story, and you was like, I can't really write. I was like, well, you could try. So tell them
Right,
how
right.
you wrote the book.
So right. So she's like, my understanding of how my book was gonna be written was she was gonna ask me some questions. I was gonna give her some answers, and she was gonna take that and write my whole book. No, that was not gonna happen like that. So she's like, so what happened was, let me just say this real quick. What happened was the year before last, when I wrote my book last year. So the year before that, I met one of my neighbors, and I was talking to one of my neighbors. I was walking my dog, and one of my neighbors, I got to speaking to one of my neighbors, and I mentioned that I was trying to write a book, but I didn't know how.
Mhm.
And he's like, "Well, just start writing. Just go home and just start recording yourself talking. Just start just start now and just go back. Like, she gave me an idea. Plus, she was real sexy, so she had like it was motivation. Right? I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do that
Like
just
she
so I
said,
could
say
call her.
what?
You
Say it
know,
in my ear.
now I got a reason to call her and be like, hey, yeah, how this sound? Like, and she's like, I'll help you. I'm like, oh, will you? Okay. So she got me on that. So I wrote that first couple paragraphs. I
Mhm.
called her, like, yeah, like that's good. But that was it. I wrote that. That was that. And
Mhm.
that's in my phone for that whole year. I never got back to it. So when I got to talking to Stephanie, she's like, just talking, just talk. And I was like, I told her about the stuff I wrote, and I read it to her, and she's like, yes, that's it. I'm like, is that it? Are you serious? So, and I swear, I got so excited that I wrote my whole book in the tub. I swear to God, every day, I would be excited at night to get to wake up tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
because I got some stuff I want to write. Like
Yes.
I would get my phone and I would just record myself talk. I would go to my notes and press the microphone button and
Mm-hmm.
just think of stories, and I would just talk into the microphone and tell stories about what happened in different scenarios, different stories that happened to me. I was just thinking of everything I could think of. It got so serious to the point where I was like, "Don't bump your head. You fuck around, forget something. Be careful, man. Be careful. Don't fall out your chair or do nothing like." You gotta write this book now. Don't forget nothing. I walk around the house all careful, like, because it's based on memory now. You
Right,
can't.
right. Yes, you did an amazing job using talk to text. And I think you're one of the only people, or maybe one or two people, who've done talk to text. So basically, he used notes, did talk to text, sent me the notes, and then I was able, to edit and then go back and ask him questions and, get more information. Like, oh, I don't understand this, explain that. But he did an amazing job. So when I say you are a stellar client, student, person, friend to, just hang out and just, and you even came like picture day, you came to picture day and everything. So like you was really on it. I really appreciate the love you showed to the whole cohort.
I met some good people in that cohort, Afia and all me and Afia follow each other on social media. I still, when I see her post something, I get in there. And when I do see something about the book club, if I see something like that, I comment. I get in there and I comment on those things that I see. But I met and I forgot the one lady, and then I met and then the first book club, no, the first book convention, you know,
Hmm.
not the one when the first time I went to the book convention. Remember, I went to the one you had, the
Well,
one
we
you were
had one for the one Christmas one. That was our book launch.
in the one. Remember, I just showed up to see what the book convention went like.
Oh, I remember that. Okay, I do remember
So
that.
that's when I
So that
met
was
Colette.
earlier in the year, right?
Remember, that's when I met the lady Colette who threw the other book convention. She
Yes,
was
yes.
her convention. She had her table set up and she had all her stuff. And I met her and her husband. I met the other lady who had the book.
Maria was
Yeah,
there.
her husband was there helping her do her things and stuff.
Yeah.
And everybody set up. And I was like, man, and so this is the funny thing I learned. So you remember when we had our book convention that Colette did at the library, that when I was there, when my book
Yes.
was released.
Uh-huh. She did the
So,
MLK event. Yes.
the MLK event, right? So
Hmm.
I
I
I
mean,
didn't
at
have
the MLK library, Juneteenth
it
book
was
event
Juneteenth.
at MLK library.
That's right. So I'm sharing tables with this other lady. She got her book set up. She got her flowers and she got her little knickknacks and my little section. Like I ain't brought. Listen,
You
I
brought
look
your
like I.
book.
Hey, look, I look like I just got out of jail. My table ain't had nothing but my books. I'm thinking like, I ain't know about all that. Like I ain't know you had to decorate. Like I'm looking around. Everybody's table is decorated. They got wishing wells and man flowers and candles, scented candles,
Mm.
and I got a bottle of water and stood one of my books up on the bottle of water. Like, listen,
That part.
that part, nigga. Hey, but I managed to after that, okay, so remember the event the disability event that I did. Remember when you
Mhm.
came, Nicole?
Yep. Nicole's event. Hmm.
I did that when I went to that event. Nicole had a table for me, so
Mm-hmm.
I went and got me some stuff though that time. I went and
Mm-hmm.
got me a that I can write on and explain what my book is like and stuff. And I got another little thing that I can set books up in. So I was a little more decorative that time.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm
You
learning. I'm
was
learning. So
ready.
yeah,
So
I'm learning.
have you been doing any? I know you've been doing comedy since you've been in Atlanta. Oh, that's the other thing. So we talk, we communicate, and everything like that. Talk about the book and see, catch up with each other and stuff. And then finally, one day, you was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna move to Atlanta." So a lot of people say they're moving. I've been saying I'm gonna move here recently. So now, so a lot of people say they're gonna move and everything like that. But man, when I tell you, you was like, "Yeah, I'm gone. I'm moving." You made it happen. You got out of this piece. You know,
Do it like a
I
band-aid, or if you don't do it like a band-aid, you're gonna sit there and be still finding reasons not to. So sometimes you gotta just say, fuck it, rip it, and just weather the storm. You know what I'm saying? I prayed
yeah.
on it. Prayed on it, and that's like, listen, I talk about God all the time. See, I prayed on it, and I just I do my half, he do his half, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot work out, and
Yes,
right now
yes.
it's working out. I miss home, I miss Columbus, I miss y'all, but I put y'all on my back, and I gotta go get this, run this money up, and get this real money, and get my name out here. So like the motivational speaking that I do
Mm-hmm.
and stuff is based on really because when I first got shot, like I said, when we first started talking, and I said I first got shot and how I was and how I felt, I was vulnerable. I was, you know, all those years later, I felt like I feel invincible now. I feel like I have to give back
Mm-hmm.
to my uh to my peers. Like I live in the neighborhood I live in right now. I've already made friends with a little young guy that's staying around the corner. He's 22. I took him under my wing, like that's my new nephew,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm bringing him up like I get my nephews, and tell him about discipline and how to want something, And the other day, me and him was like, get get in there. Sorry about that, my dog. Get in the
No,
house.
you good.
Anyway, so we were talking. Get in the house. Little
Oh,
dogs think they.
he's a little doggy. He's so cute.
My big dog ain't even barked. Thank you. Put them in there and shut the door. This Nico, go in the house. Probably all right. Just shut the door for me. No, put Probably in there too. Probably you cool. Sorry about this.
No, no, you
Sorry,
good.
sorry.
You good. You good.
So like I just feel like I have a lot to give back. I'm talking to my nephew and I'm like, because when I met him, I was telling him he's 22. And I'm telling him like time ain't gonna wait. You gotta get it now. I'm living my life. I'm reliving my life through y'all. You know what I'm saying? Social
Mm-hmm.
media, all stuff is new. It's new to us. We OGs. This
Right.
is not
Right.
our This is so different to us. But y'all used to this. So you gotta capitalize on it. And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out. And I said, look here, man. You 22, I'm 50. But we both sitting here trying to figure out how to get some money. Don't
Mm,
be 50 still trying to figure out how to get some money. You 22.
right.
Use that 22, man.
Use
Man,
that.
trust. I'm 50 trying to figure out how to get some money, man. Like, don't be this LO trying to figure out how you gonna get some money, some real money. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I pay rent and pay bills. I got that money. But I'm talking about some
Right.
real
But
money.
yeah, but like you said, you're a talented person, you're an entrepreneur, you're a business person, you set goals, you get them done. You know what I mean? So there's that expansiveness uh mirrors abundance. You know what I mean? So it's cool to have money. It's cool to, it's amazing. It's a blessing, I want to say. It's a blessing to pay your bills and have food on the table or the roof over your head and shoes
Right.
on your feet. But if we're utilizing the gifts that God gave us, then abundance is ours. So, you are utilizing those gifts.
And you know, the funny thing is, like, I never thought that my motivation would come from just living in the neighborhood I live in.
Mm-hmm.
Just walking my dog, looking at the houses I live that I walk past is my motivation. And I'm so happy to see all the black folks that I see coming out these houses. Cause I'm looking like all these white folks, you know, these big nice houses. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing black folks coming out like, what? I didn't
Yes,
think a black lived in that house. Damn, a
yes.
black and a black person live in that house, you know?
And
And
that
I'm
one too. So
right,
tie together in the book you talk about that when you was like when you was
right,
in middle school. What did you
yes,
used to do?
yes. So which is the reason why these things that I'm saying are so important to me. Because, you know, when I grew up, seventh grade, eighth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, you know, I lived in a drug environment. My
Mhm.
home had drugs in it, you know. Unfortunately, my mom was on drugs. That's my best friend, but she was on drugs when I was growing up and stuff like that. And I sold drugs, and you know, all that. My brother was selling drugs. My mom did drugs. My uncle and them did drugs. My neighbors did drugs. It was just that's what it was for me. So going to school, I would go to school out there with the black and white folks. You know, my school was mixed. So I had the
Mhm.
white folks and the black folks, and I ain't keep saying white folks like they only ones had money, but you know, it was like I don't know where the black folks at with no money. You know what I'm saying? No,
Right.
none of my got no money. My neighborhood ain't like that. So when I go to
Mhm.
school, I do see it from the white folks. You know what I'm saying? And then when I walk
Right.
home from school, I walk through the nice neighborhood until I get to the bad neighborhood, and then I go to my house. So when I'm in
Mhm.
a nice neighborhood, I'm just fantasizing about just what it'll be like to go up into one of these houses, just go to my room and lay in my bed. Like, wow, you know, they got basketball hoops in their driveway. I'm like, damn, that'd be like, I wish, you know. But as a
Mhm.
child, it's on your parents. When you a kid, your clothes, all that is reflecting of your parents.
Mhm.
You know, when you a kid, they see you your tennis. It's they don't really laugh at you. They laugh at your parents because we know you ain't got no money. You a kid. You ain't got no job. So we looking at
Right.
your parents broke. You know, so your mom then broke. But then when you get of age, when you can do things for yourself, that's when you know. What I'm saying that's when you be like, listen, I'm not about to be broke no more. I'm gonna get me a job. I'm gonna start getting me some money. You know, it's like
Mhm.
that. So being in the neighborhood now and actually living in this neighborhood, when I raise my garage up every morning, I see these beautiful houses. And I'm just thank God just for the scene, you know,
Yes.
just for the scene to walk
Yes.
my dogs in the scenery that I got now is, and I thank
Mhm.
God for that. You know, I'm very
Mhm.
humble, you know,
Yes.
so
And I think that speaks to the fact of you feeling blessed and being grateful for where you are because, you did when you were in Columbus, when you initially got that house, you're like, oh, I got a nice house, a nice, this and that. And then when God said, well, I'm going to move you up, I'm going to show you something else, you're like, okay, cool.
man, I'm
So,
gonna show you real stuff. Like he put me down here and showed me some real. I'm like, okay, so and another thing that I'm looking at is like I rent, and there's probably other people that rent stuff, but a lot of the people that I've met are homeowners.
mm-hmm.
And like, man, I've never been a homeowner. I've never said those words out my mouth. I'm gonna buy this house and get this house
Right,
built. So that's
right.
like I'm gonna say that one day.
Yes,
I
you
need
are.
one day.
You
I'm gonna
saying it today.
listen. I'm gonna say that one day and be like, listen, man, I'm gonna get me. It just why not?
Why
Because the
not?
thing about that is the people down here support each other. That's the good thing about where I'm at in Georgia. The
Mhm.
people down here support each other. Everybody down here with a dream, you know.
Yes.
Everybody down here trying to rap, trying to be a comedian, trying to be this, trying to be that, whatever. Like that's why they call
Mhm.
it Black Hollywood. Everybody's trying. So there's options. Like I say, there's a lot of open mic spots down here, man. I can do shows 3, 4 times a week, every
Right.
week. You know,
Right.
so and another thing that I say that's very hard to do is rebuild yourself, reinvent yourself. That's
Mm-hmm.
why friends don't leave Akron because they got a name in Akron. You know what I'm saying? They got a reputation, and it's
Ooh.
get that. So they're not gonna leave that and start over. I done it 3 times.
Yes.
It's my third time doing it, and I'm already on my way of being successful.
Yes.
Like that's hard to
You know
do.
what? When you said when you said that that hit, look, I'm
Oh, I saw
um
your, I
cuz
saw your.
yeah, because like I said, I've been talking about, oh, I'm moving. My lease is up in January. I'm moving. So a friend of mine called me and she was like, oh, Steph, I got this opportunity. You could do A, B, C, D, E. We kick it off in 2026, that type of thing. And so I'm like, oh, okay, well, I do different things. I do some grant writing, I do, some book stuff, some different things. So I'm like, oh, things might really pop off in 2026. So when you said that, it's like, okay, so you just gonna be stuck. Like you had it in your mind to move, where you was gonna move, where you was gonna go, and everything. And because somebody, offered you an opportunity, which, because my thing is like, well, why can't I be there and here? You know what I mean? I could be two places as long as I got that money, as long as I got that abundance, I can make that happen. But yeah, I cannot allow that to stop me from doing my next thing. So
Like
yeah, you
another
said that.
thing, just another thing I tell people about. Just another thing that I say about stuff like that. You in Columbus, you got a establishment in Columbus. You can just wherever you're thinking about, wherever that is, you can go try it, see it, because you can always go back to Columbus.
Mm-hmm. That
It's
part.
not a failure. It's not a failure if you go back to Columbus. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't working out. I did go look though. I went and looked to see if it was gonna work, and it
I
didn't work
checked
for
it
me. I,
out.
I went back home. Okay, I'll try something else, but I went and checked it out though. You can
I
always go
checked
back, like you know what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
I ended up in Atlanta in 2020 or 2004. I moved down here because my cousin, one of my best friends, was with his girl, and he called me like this when I was doing the music though. So
Mhm.
funny. The irony. Listen to the irony of this. 2004, I moved down here with my buddy. His girl, he split up with his girl and called me like, "Hey man, uh, me and my girl ain't together no more." I'm like, "So what you saying?" He like, if you want to come down, pew. This is what I do, Stephanie. I go. I don't got no kids. You give me
Right.
the opportunity, and I look at the situation where not just the opportunity, it got to fit for me though.
Mhm.
You know, said I would come there don't mean all right, it's gonna work. I gotta have a reason to be there. So I was
Right.
doing the music. I came down here with the music and stuff, and and here I go again. I done bumped elbows. I'm rubbing. I'm moving up the ladder on the music side. But guess what? I'm dealing with all comedians.
Mm.
All comedians. My boy Nar, he passed away. My boy Nar used to call me Ohio. It was open mic. I met Farnsworth Bentley, Puffy's boy. He was the
Mhm.
judge in the open mic contest. I came
Mhm.
in third place in the open mic contest rapping, and all the judges were comedians. Nar was the
Wow.
host, Bruce, and all them. And they used to all show up to the crowd. Like, man, it was so funny. Let me tell you, this is hilarious. I made my boy that I came down here with be a rapper. He don't do nothing but go to work. But I'm by myself. I need
Mhm.
somebody to get on stage to help me do this song. So
Right.
he's like, all right. He get on stage with me, right, Stephanie? Look, first time he get on stage with me, he froze up, ain't say nothing. So I had to kill it by myself. I'm exhausted. I'm looking at him, like, all right, never give you the mic again. And you ain't saying nothing. Nothing, Stephanie. He ain't say nothing.
Not one
Stay,
word.
man. I ain't no rapper, dog. I told you, I can't do that kind of stuff. So look, so look, there was another show coming up. So so so
Mm.
so we practicing. Now I got my other friend. I'd have made him a rapper too. We all at the house practicing. Now we at the house, we practicing. Everybody's excited. Everybody all turned because we in the room. Ain't no
Mhm.
crowd. So we all,
Right.
everybody, I'm like, I hope y'all be like that on the show. So here comes the show night. Now this back when we were wearing jerseys. This back when we was wearing jerseys. Remember back when everybody was wearing jerseys, and so we back. This is the jersey stage. So my
Mhm.
cousin don't got nothing to wear. So my friend said, I got this Cavs jersey, but it's kind of long. So he like, all right, so we bring it. My cousin go in the room, he put it on. I ain't really paying no attention to the fact that he got the jersey on. He got some jeans on, and he got the jersey tucked in the jeans. You know, I told him, damn, pull that out a little bit. I can't even see the numbers on the motherfucking jersey. You got it tucked in. I don't even know what number you is, cuz like. So look, so now we at the show, right? And it was good, but it was bad because they was judging, man, and they messed up my judging. Cause we get on stage, we do the show. My boy loud, I can hear him. He killed it with me. So I'm getting off stage like
Right.
sweet.
Like,
So the
yeah.
host, so the host like, yeah, Bruce, all of them in the building. So the host like, yeah, give it up for D Nut and Chris Tucker's little brother. I'm like, what? And he gonna say, Shirt Tucker. He called my boy Shirt Tucker because he had that jersey tucked in his damn jeans. Oh man,
Oh my
the
goodness,
whole
y'all! I gotta say this. Y'all have got to get this book because y'all, of course, I've read it, reread it, and reread it. But I was rereading it, and I was just cracking up. I was just laughing because that is what you did. You told, the funniest stories, the wildest stories, the heartfelt stories. You just really tell it all. So you will, if you purchase this book, you will be laughing out loud. I promise you, you will be laughing out loud because it is hilarious.
it's a motivating book. It's funny. It's motivating. Get up, go do something with them legs.
Yes, that part.
Fresh Prince.
That's one of my favorite quotes from you is about what we doing with our legs. Okay,
Yeah,
so on the back of your book, his rap lyrics resonate with his outlook on life, famously stating, "Fresh pair of legs and ain't doing nothing with them."
ain't doing
Welcome
nothing.
to the real world. Ain't doing nothing with them. You have
Hey,
done so much in your life, accomplished so much, and just keep getting bigger and better. And I know that 100% about you because, like I said, when you said, "Oh, I'm down, I'm doing this," you was down and you was doing it. You wasn't playing. Everybody who joined the cohort didn't end up with a book. Everybody didn't end up paying me all the money they were supposed to, but you are so about your business, and it's because of your belief in yourself and your belief in God and what God has for you. And from before the age of 15 and after the age of 15, you have never let anything stop you or hold you back. So
and I'm just starting the second chapter of my life, so there is gonna be another book coming. Definitely. I can do a part two on this book because I got so many stories that I forgot. My friends
yes.
been calling me like, why you ain't say about this? Why you ain't tell them about this? I'm like, damn, I forgot about those. Like, I could do a whole nother book.
Oh, well, just let me know. You want to do a whole nother book. I'm your girl. I got you. I
You
got
know who I'm rocking with, man. And you think I'm gonna be a one book pony? I got another book coming. I just gotta get my stuff and go there and get some of this comedy and find some more stories to put in the book.
Yes, definitely. So tell people where they can find you, on social media or where your next show is, what you're gonna be doing.
I will. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I got a show tomorrow. I'm gonna go live. So all the people who are friends with me on Facebook, I'm Darius A. Sullivan. I just realized it's the A in the middle. I couldn't find myself. Darius Sullivan. They're like, it ain't showing up. It's Darius A. Sullivan on Facebook, and it's comedian D Nut, DNUT on Instagram. And if you want the book, you can go on Amazon and you can type in my name, Darius Sullivan, And that book right there, that's me. That'll pop up. You can get that book and you can indulge in the life of Darius Sullivan, and you can get a little more familiar with me, and you know, get your laugh on, get your walk on, and whatever.
Yes,
But
yes,
the beautiful thing about the cohort that I did that I can say is I met some nice people, and I met my big sister, Stephanie Bridges, and we are family. We
yes,
keep in touch, we talk, and it ain't just about no books all the time. Trust me, we talk about everything. It's my people right here. And I thank her so much because like I say, she made it happen. She gave me a reason to come to Atlanta, and she gave me a like I say, this is another thing that's crazy. I've done a lot, right? I've been accomplished. I've been praised for the things I've done. I've
mm-hmm.
been in the newspaper. I've been to California. I signed the record deal. I've done the music. I've done the comedy. But when I became an author, it was so surreal. It was so different. I was so like, it was crazy. My friends was like groupies. My boys was like, bro, that shit is so dope. And I'm tripping because these is my boys, and they giving me all these praises, and I'm like, wow, like y'all tripping, like I mean, it's just a book. They're like, nah, you an author, like that's dope, like you did that. And I'm like, wow. So yes, thank you so much, Stephanie Bridges. And hey, if y'all want to write a book, man, it's the best publisher there is, man. Deal with her, give her her bread, you will get your book, and it's gonna be worth it. Trust me, my book is beautiful. I love my
Yes.
book.
It is beautiful. It is amazing. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. You have been amazing. You're an amazing guest. You always keep me laughing and you always keep me learning. So, yeah, this is from Mirror to Manuscripts and another great show. We are out. Hey.
Hey, y'all, love y'all. Go write y'all a book.
Write you a book. Hit me up. I was gonna say something. Yes, hit me up about the books.
Right, you're right. Yeah, I tell you. Hit that
All right.
cash app.
Yes, yes. All of that, all of the things. We
So
can
what
make
do
it
I do?
we can make it
So,
happen.
so what
Would
do
you
I
say?
do? Are we done? Are we still on? Are we what?
Oh yeah, we out. We out. Okay, wait, let me close out. Bye everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bridge is the better.
Yeah, bridges the better. Peace.